The mic.
Good evening. My name is Alberto Gaitan. I'm a physician. I work at O'Connor Hospital. And I have an open question, whoever wants to answer it. And my question is, where are we in New York State in palliative hospice care compared to the rest of the country? And how can we find out in other states, I mean, the services for our friends, families, are we equal? I mean, we can talk about assisted death in Oregon, if I'm not wrong. So where are we here? What's the future? And how can we do to connect with other people in other states to have conversations about hospice care?
That sounded like a question for hospice. Okay, Lola, do you want to respond?
Yes, thank you, Alberto. Actually, a study was done, the Dartmouth study, that looked at hospice utilization over the United States. And what was very interesting was that where there is a high concentration of acute care hospital beds, there was low hospice utilization. So somebody's trying to keep those hospital beds full in those areas. So because New York State has many acute care hospital beds, mostly downstate, of course, our state average for hospice utilization is only 22%. However, Catskill Area Hospice and our rural area has 40% hospice utilization. So that is 40% of all people who die in our 3 counties utilize hospice services, and that is the highest in the state. So, you know, it's just interesting how economics sometimes can sway practice policies, clinical practices that, you know, in the cities where actually their hospice utilization is less than 10%, usually 6 to 8% of people who die on hospice. So that's where our state practice is compared to the rest of the nation. The national average is 38%. So New York State does not have very high hospice utilization. But we do talk, you know, we have a National Hospice Organization, National Hospice and Palliative Care Organization that does have representation from all hospices across the country, and they, you know, we compare, we see, you know, where other states are moving ahead, where perhaps our state, because our Department of Health is, you know, has different and more stringent regulations than other states also, kind of, that's also a bit of a barrier for us in this state. So, you know, we hope that that will improve over time.
I think the other part of your question, too, is how to know what other states are doing and how to contact. We welcome any call at our hospice to connect people in other areas. It's, you know, the internet's a wonderful thing. But we can connect to different hospices. But I think one of the things I find frustrating is coming up with that golden standard. And their hospices can be different from hospice to hospice. Palliative care programs can be different from facility to facility, from hospice to hospice. So really doing the research on that can be tough. I had an aunt, I was trying to help her with a palliative care program out in Kansas. Whew, it was a totally different world out there. And it was tough, really working through. So I think for hospices, we need to set the goal as what is the golden standard of hospice care and palliative care.